Welcome to Deep Thought. The worst lie a person tells. Now, what do you think that lie would be? You think that lie would be putting on a facade, showing a mask to people? Nah, that's not the worst one a person can tell. Is it being malicious and saying some negative stuff about another person? They lying on a person? Oh, that's bad as heck, but that's not the worst one a person to tell. That's not the worst one. They bad, presenting a facade or lying on people, misrepresenting something. Oh yeah, they terrible as heck, and quite frankly, people doing it need their asses kicked, right? But it's not the worst one. The worst lie a person tells is to themselves. I want you to think about that. It's one thing to put on a facade, knowing you put it on a facade, right? I mean, you know it. You ain't no millionaire. You don't got that car. You ain't a real ladies' man. You haven't done anything with your life. Right? You haven't done all that. And still it's not as bad as this one lie, the worst lie. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't be talking trash about somebody or misrepresenting them. That's just plain evil. You deliberately trying to hurt somebody's reputation. Plus, depending on the situation and what happens, you can be sued for it. Right? You can be sued for it. Right? But that's still not the worst thing. The worst lie you tell yourself is the worst lie rather is what you tell yourself. You lie to yourself. You look in the mirror and you say, yeah, I'm that man. Or yeah, I'm that woman. Or yeah, I got all this going on. Now, that's different from having a positive affirmation. Some people have a positive affirmation and they'll say, yeah, I'm these things. But see, that's not a lie. An affirmation is when you say positive things about yourself, and then when you actively, notice I say actively, work to make that a reality. That's not a lie. You believe in it and then you working on it. That's not a lie. The lie is when you tell yourself those things and you don't make any moves to actually become that thing. You tell yourself that everybody, you might tell yourself everybody likes you, and you know that people think you're as obnoxious as possible. You might tell yourself you're the smartest person around. You're smarter than everybody. Yet nothing in your life reflects that. You'll be arrogant. You tell yourself those lies. You tell yourself a lie. You lie to yourself. You might be arrogant in that lie. Say, this is who I am. Because what it does, it creates a different type of facade. It creates a counterfeit facade, a counterfeit persona. You tell yourself all these things. But see, here's the funny thing. You tell yourself that, but then, some people might believe you, but many won't. Because they see something different. And see, when you do that, you can't really advance in life because you don't know what. You're not facing your real issues because you lying about them. I remember I was in this social circle and this woman thought she was the bomb, and she was arrogant. She was nasty about it. She would treat people a certain way, say obnoxious things to people in her circle. But she thought she was the bomb, but everybody saw her a different way. She thought she was like high and mighty 10 and everything. Dime. And she was alright. Notice I say alright. But these guys saw her a different way. They ain't see us high and mighty. They saw her at best as a jump off. At best. But this was a lie. And, at first you might have thought, oh, she just putting on that facade. But, after a while, you observe it for a few years. And you just like, oh, this is who she thinks she really is. Oh, snap. And, when people don't do it, right? When people don't tell themselves the truth, they hurt themselves. See, that's the one thing going through life. you can tell you can tell lies on people, and then you could try to put on a facade. Or let me use that thing, right? A facade, right? A facade. You put on that facade, right? And but you know the truth of it. You know the truth of it. So that's different. But when you lie to yourself, you don't deal with it, and you stay in that lie. You live that lie. You build something around that lie. But then you could be falling every single moment, because you're not effectively dealing with it. You're not taking accountability for your actions because you think they're real. You blaming everybody else. You believe in a lie. You tell yourself a lie, and then you believe that lie. All of a sudden, it's like your real self isn't there. But like I said in a previous podcast, facades fall. So if your outside, the facade that that you're putting on will fall, what do you think what's going to happen to the one you putting inside and tell yourself it's going to be worse? I'm going to tell you something, and I've said this before. Self-beliefs or a person's belief systems are so powerful that if you show that person the truth, you can actually kill them. You can actually kill them. I remember there was a young lady I dealt with, and she thought we got together for one reason. She thought, she seriously thought it. And I told her, no, this was the reason we got together. I didn't think the reason we actually got together was that bad. But she thought something else. And I remember her reaction. She was on the wall. She actually fell back to the wall and then slid to the ground. I was like, wow, hold up. It's not that deep. I felt bad for her, but she had she had lied to herself about something because I didn't tell her that, And just to be clear, it wasn't like I just said I just wanted her for sex. I actually liked her. And I actually liked being in a relationship with her, But I didn't get with her just for sex at first. Believe it or not, she was sexy as hell, but that wasn't the sole reason. So, and that's a powerful thing. That's a powerful thing to consider. We can actually hurt ourselves because that facade will come down. We lie to ourselves. Something, an action will come to happen. Like you might say, yeah, I'm that person. I can handle all things. I can take care of it. I can do this, And then somebody going to come along and convince you otherwise, Like you might have a dude who think, yeah, I'm the man. I can beat anybody. Now, somebody might take that as an affirmation. Now, if they the type who's constantly training, who's constantly keep working on their body, constantly practicing their martial art, okay, probably not everybody, but a true martial artist, incidentally, would have some humility, realize there's always somebody out there for them. But say it's somebody who's believing all that, but they don't work out, they don't do anything. So then when somebody come up and actually whip their ass, they like, it can hurt them on many levels. Because when that self-facade, I call it a self-facade, when that self-facade falls, it literally can. It's probably, and no joke, and I ain't trying to make light of this, of course, but you might have some people who've committed suicide because they found out the truth of something. I remember reading about that a couple of times. They say they knew somebody and they killed themselves, because something was pointed out to them, And you could lie to yourself about how other people are treating you. You could lie to yourself about the relationship you're in. You could see it's jacked up, but you saying it's great, it's great, it's great. You're lying to yourself. See, that's the whole thing. When you lie to yourself, you can't really deal with the reality. So that's the worst lie. That's the worst lie. The other ones are bad. Let's not underplay them. They're just as bad. You need to avoid doing those too. But the worst lie is the one you do to yourself. So that's all I have for now. Think on this.